Welcome to Lexington. For the first ever time, Lexington SC will play in the USL League One at Lexington SC Stadium. And who else would they play than their bitter rivals, one Knoxville, in the 7th meeting in the Barrel Brawl all time. Our match today presented by Central Bank. Jack Edwards here with you on ESPN+. Let's show you the standings in League One entering the weekend. In 5th place, one Knoxville have 25 points to their 15 games in a really good spot for a first ever playoff berth as a club. While Lexington, they're 11 points behind their rivals, but just 3 points behind South Georgia Tormenta, who sit in 8th place. A really important 3 points on hand for Lexington, who have a really big stretch coming up with 3 games in 8 days. Now some players to watch for both sides. First off, Cam Lancaster for the hosts scored an outrageous free kick against Northern Colorado. They lost 5-1, won a big response here today, and the team's joint leading goal scorer in the USL League One has an opportunity to score his first goal at Lexington's new home at Lexington SC Stadium. On the flip side now, for their rivals, Knoxville, Kempis Tequila has been absolutely electric in the league so far. In 13 appearances, he's got 9 goals, scores them in a variety of ways. That number is good for 2nd in the league, and he's trying to continue that good form heading into this one, coming off of a penalty he scored last match in the draw against Charlotte, trying to keep his good form going and maybe get to double digits on this season. Now looking at the numbers historically mentioned, the 7th meeting all time in the Barrel Brawl, and never have Lexington taken victory in this rivalry match. It's the first time for Ilya Illich to be at the helm, the interim man for one Knoxville. They've won 4, drawn 2 of those meetings all time. This meeting today, the 4th of 2024. What happened in the first one this year in USL League One? We can flash back now to March when they featured one-on-one against each other at Regal Stadium. Rudy Castro in the second half would find the back of the net for the first goal, courtesy of a slight deflection. Stuart Ritchie would double the lead, and it'd be a 2-0 win for one Knoxville in the first meeting in League One. It's the return leg now, a chance for revenge for Lexington, and maybe a first ever win in the Barrel Brawl. A chance now for the men's side to play for the first time at their new stadium. And we've got kickoff and lineups on the other side of this break presented by Central Bank. It's Lexington SC taking on one Knoxville SC.
Lexington is the Kentuckiest place in the world. Just look at it. It's by far the bluegrassiest, the bourbonist. See? The artsiest, and hands down, the horsiest. Oh, look, that one has a baby. I don't know why you would look anywhere else. Looking for the coolest, most Kentuckiest getaway? Look at Lexington.
UK Healthcare Orthopedic Surgery and Sports Medicine offers comprehensive treatments for bone, joint, and muscle disorders and injuries of all types, from complex repairs to complete replacements. UKHealthcare.com, the power of advanced medicine.
Players taking the field at Lexington SC Stadium. This match presented by Central Bank, and I'm Jack Edwards here with you on ESPN Plus to kick off another week of USL League One action this Friday night. First off, our lineup for the home side, Lexington. There are 11 players coming off a 5-1 defeat at Northern Colorado last time. There are 5 changes made by Darren Powell, trying to tweak some things around. Nico Brown, one of those changes, was suspended last match, comes back in, trying to add to his career goal total against one. Knoxville leads the club in goals against 1 Knoxville in these head-to-head matchups. On the flip side for 1 Knoxville, on the flip side of things, they're coming off of a 1-1 draw against Charlotte in their last match. They make 3 changes in the 5th match now under Ilya Ilic as the interim head coach. And this defense has just been absolutely lights out this season. 6 clean sheets for Sean Lewis between the pipes. That's good for 2nd in the league. They've conceded just 12 goals through 15 games, and that is the best mark in USL League One. They're a really hard side to score against. Lexington know that all too well. They've scored just 2 goals across 6 games in the Barrel Brawl. A big chance, though, in their new stadium at home against their rivals. That is the side for 1 Knoxville right there. Trying to figure out a way to continue what has been a really good season through some ups and downs. I mentioned match number 5 now under Ilya Ilic was named the interim on August 15th after the club moved on from Mark McKeever. Darren Powell leading this Lexington side. They had a match last time out against Northern Colorado, didn't go their way. 5 goals to 1. Darren Powell saying some individual errors that the side looked at, trying to work on for this one. Before the match against Northern Colorado, they had been 6 unbeaten, trying to get back to positive ways and swing themselves into the playoffs. 8 teams will make the USL League One playoffs. It's a big run of 3 games in 8 days for Lexington. The first match here is their first here at Lexington SC Stadium. Cam Lancaster stands in the all-black kits. They'll head from right to left, and they get us underway. Rolled in to the new man, Marcel Canati. We'll talk more about him as the match continues to progress. 1 Knoxville. And their light kits will head from left to right. Jack Edwards here with you on ESPN+. It's been a busy week in the USL League One. The Jägermeister Cup saw the advancement of Northern Colorado as well as Forward Madison to the upcoming Jägermeister Cup finals. But for all sides but those 2, focus is entirely on this push to the playoffs for the final months of our regular season. Here's Canati, a signing that was announced yesterday. He's been with the side for a little bit, but a first opportunity now in his new colors. Very experienced Austrian midfielder, and there's a ball over the top. It's a dangerous bit of threat, and that shot goes just wide. The crowd thought for a moment that one had found the back of the net, but it's a goal kick. A really good bit of attacking play by Christian Lu Young, just making the overlapping run on the right-hand side. See this one again, dropped over the top by Yannick Yankum. Slight push in the back, Stuart Ritchie. We'll call that just good defensive work to put off the forward. Looking now at our availability report, brought to you by UK Healthcare. Saud Liaudi, Luera, and Akon all unavailable with injury. You can see Darren Powell looking on after a free kick goes against his side, going the way of Knoxville. Flip side now for Knoxville. Innocent and Schutte on international duty, unavailable for 1 Knoxville. Also Kingsford Ajay still dealing with some illness, won't be able to make the trip for this one. They're hopeful he'll be back in the coming days and weeks. But it was a pretty light side against Northern Colorado for Lexington. As Kempis Tequila will take over this free kick, stands it up, underhits that one, and it's headed away, easily dealt with by Lexington. In that match against Northern Colorado, Yannick Yankum was with Malta, Nico Brown was serving suspension, Christian Lu Young was unable to make the trip. All 3 players returned to the starting lineup after being unavailable in that match. There were some tweaks to players from their positions they weren't necessarily used to, and Darren Powell saying just didn't work out the way he wanted it to. But a chance now, the players returning, and returning to a new home. A chance to return to winning ways. Tez Diouf plays this one forward for Nico Brown. Trying to go one-on-one. It's really good defensive work, and it's going to be a free kick. Sean O'Hearn got across Nico Brown and forced the forward into a foul. It's a free kick for 1 Knoxville. O'Hearn, one of the 3 changes coming into the side. He'll be tasked with taking on Brown one-on-one a lot throughout this match, and the first meeting there he wins via the free kick he won for his side. Sean Lewis readying this free kick. Talked about him in the lineup. This is now his 16th appearance on the season, 6 clean sheets through the first 15. Very good defensive team, Knoxville are. Nico Brown, did he keep that one in play? Referee says, no, he did not. Late challenge there will draw the ire of this home crowd. Coming across, Jalen Chrysler. Just letting Nico Brown know he's there. See this one again, just Brown couldn't quite keep it in play. You see it go out, and then a clean challenge, but always will draw a bit of attention after the whistle had gone. Looking at one Knoxville, Denny Fernandez back to Lewis. Up forward, some good hold-up play, and it slid forward now. A 3-on-3 for Knoxville. Low delivery, aiming for Angelo Kelly, but it's a tough one for the midfielder to get on the end of. It's dealt with, cleared away by Lexington. Survived that first attacking foray from one Knoxville. Confident in the end from Skelton. Lewis came off his line. He had to take over and make sure that he was in command of the situation. Slid forward. The feet of Frank Ross. Again, another overlapping run coming over the top by Ritchie. Dragging it back. It's going to be left. Tequila gets there. It's a foot to it, but rolls back. Amal Knight able to just pick it up. Appearance number 15 on the season. The Jamaican goalkeeper. Kanadi playing that one across. Yankum. Lexington very excited to bring in Kanadi into the side. 26-year-old Austrian midfielder. Featured in Bulgaria and Australia in 2023. Previous experience as well in Austria and in Germany. He's in the academy for Borussia Mönchengladbach earlier on in his career. Getting acclimated to his new side, and we'll see what he can do in his first minutes with his new club. It's Nico Brown rolling it back centrally. Caputo. Here's Juve. Uche to Corrales. Caputo slides it across the far side. Modesto Mendez. Caputo fires it to Juve. First time ball forward. It's cleared away. Caputo trying to link up, or rather Yankum link up with Kanadi. Rolled forward, Lancaster the target. He gets a foot on it and can lay it off now for Brown. Clever ball. Yankum kicks it off his opponent. Out now for a corner kick, the first of the match for either side, and Lexington a chance to put some numbers forward. Nick Yankum, hopeful that he can have a big impact as he returns back to the side, was with Malta on international duty.
Today's corner kicks are presented
Good
by
defensive work by Jordan Skelton, tracking across to get in the way.
Number 32, Tez Youth.
Tez Youth will take this Commonwealth Credit Union corner kick. Whipped into the box. Headed along. Was aiming for CC Uche at the back post. And the center back ranges over, picks it up. His delivery is cleared away by Fernandez. Caputo. Here's now Corrales. Diouf. Lancaster was making some movement off the ball. Diouf. His first shot in his new home. That one arcing over the goal. Diouf always going to be a threat. 4 goals, 3 assists. Was the side's leading scorer in 2023 with 15 goals. Has a further 3 as well in the Jägermeister Cup. That one, though, going over Sean Lewis, not testing the goalkeeper. This is match number 2 in the new stadium. The USL Super League side facing off with Tampa Bay Sun last Sunday. It was a 3-2 defeat for Lexington. They'll actually be playing tonight as well. Almost concurrently, they face off with the Dallas Trinity at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Talking to Darren Powell ahead of this match about the new stadium, he was very appreciative of Georgetown, who was a great host, but always were guests on their campus, saying that it's their own building and the strength and power in the words your home field, a really big benefit. Darren Powell here in year number 1, a side that's preparing for the leap, of course, to the USL Championship. Something that is a long-term vision. The stadium, a very important addition in the long-term growth of the club. Diouf from behind. It's cleared away, and Diouf felt he did not commit a foul. Chrysler felt that he was fouled. The referee agrees with the Senegalese forward and says that it's going to be a corner kick now for Lexington. Good pressing by Diouf, and a chance now with a corner kick to come. Let's see that again here. Just bounces up for Chrysler. Tough to tell in full speed there, but Diouf got a foot in there, asked the question, and got a positive answer, and a chance now for his second corner of the match now in the 10th minute. Diouf into the 6-yard box. Dangerous delivery. Brown was in the area, but it's headed away. Getting there first was Callum Johnson. That's going to result in the first yellow card of our match. Johnson knew to expect the contact and got there first.
The referee has issued a yellow card.
Second look at this. Dangerous delivery, but a really good header by Angelo Kelly. Caputo just a step slow. It's Abel Caputo, first player booked for either side. That's an important one. Right in that midfield for Lexington will have to deal with a lot of moments in transition. Now has to be very careful when those moments come about. Yankum takes over. Fernandez loses the ball. Yankum has Kanadi centrally. From distance, a low effort. Oh, what a debut it could have been if he buried that one in the bottom left corner. Marcel Kanadi got it out of his feet well, and his left-footed effort goes just wide. Another look here, Yankum to Kanadi. That's not a bad effort in the slightest. Austrian midfielder, turned 27 later this year. Mentioned that wide variety of experience he enjoys up to this point in his career. It's his first time in the United States. This is a player, to clarify on that. Driving forward, there was advantage being played. Advantage was gone after it was lost back to Lexington. You're seeing in the early stages, though, the press at Lexington are trying to put on the ball higher up the field. Darren Powell felt that their press got a little too deep later on in the match against Northern Colorado. Despite some good moments in that match, after conceding the 3rd goal on the break, things really began to get out of hand. Of course, finishing 5-1, ending the 6-match unbeaten streak. Siebert Haugley dropping deeper, almost operating as another center back, bumping Chrysler and Fernandez as more fullback-like roles in this build-up. Haugley back to Lewis, also offering his services in this build-up. Dropped forward for Angelo Kelly. The header to Chrysler. Confident touch from the center back. Skelton moving forward into the midfield. Kelly going forward, aiming for Tequila, but Uche Strong defensive effort. Knight, under the pressure of Ross, just plays that in the midfield, and Haugley can push that down now. O'Hearn, centrally. Rolled across, Tequila on the left foot now. Dangerous shot, takes a big deflection, and Knight, who was backpedaling, able to see that one over his goal. Kempis Tequila trying to get to double digits in the USL League One season. See again, O'Hearn just playing that ball centrally. It's a good ball in the end. Found Callum Johnson, Tequila, and two around him in black, and his shot, it's a deflection, goes over Knight. The Lexington goal.
Number 10, Kempis Tequila.
Tequila took the shot. He'll take the corner kick as well. First now for Lexington, Knoxville rather. Tequila finds Unique Yankin at the near post. It's cleared away. Here's Lancaster. Good challenge put in. Now back to Tequila. Rolls it off in the box. Ross loses his footing, but it goes back to him. Trying to pick out an option. Takes a deflection. Actually just left there. Fernandez, the shot. Courageous header to block it. Angelo Kelly trying to keep it in the mixer. Lofts it back forward. Haugley the target. But Corrales holds him off and allows Knight to reclaim and roll it back into possession. A chaotic sequence there. Nadi. Uche to Corrales. Yankin offered some space to go into. Now Lancaster in the box on the turn. His shot hook to deflection. It's picked up by Lewis. The flashback is it's rolled back into play. Here's Ross. Both sides trading blows. Early stages of our match. We showed you that previous meeting in the league. It took all the way until the 70th minute for the first goal on that match. Rudy Castro scoring. It's going to hit the back of O'Hearn. Good defensive work in the end from the wing back. Lofted forward. Tequila all on his own, and Uche does well defensively to see that challenge out. 7th meeting all time between these two teams. Very close in proximity. They've met 2 other times in the Jägermeister Cup so far this year. The match at home for Knoxville back in June finished with a 2-0 win. Just a few games ago, Lexington, the hosts in the Jägermeister Cup. It was a 0-0 draw. Lexington taking the shootout win to get the extra point. Of course, neither side advancing from their group on points as match winners, or group winners, I should say. Ooh, clever idea by Canati to just leave that one. Beginning to develop his relationship with Cam Lancaster up front. Kelly trying to take over after dribbling it forward, but it's only rolling back to Haugley. Now Johnson. It's a poor pass there from Haugley. You can see him drop his head in frustration right after he played it. Powell looking on. He's very appreciative of the efforts to get the stadium and especially the pitch up to a very good standard. Groundsman Cody doing a great job, he said, in terms of making sure that the field, even though it's still very young, just the second match being played here at a professional level, feeling very confident for the players to be able to play on. First time for the men's side. It's moved along for Jorge Corrales, who comes into the attacking half. Plays it forward for Brown. O'Hearn stepping forward to press. Here's Youth. It's turned over. It's going to be a foul committed in transition. And another yellow card now for Lexington. The second one given out early on in our match from Edson Carvajal. Just a poor touch from Modesto Mendez. Had to rectify it by making sure that nothing really came from it on the counter. Now Mendez and Caputo both booked. So a bit of the spine of this Lexington side really beginning to be put under some pressure in terms of their early bookings within 20 minutes in this rivalry match.
Number 44, Modesto Mendez in 19 minutes.
Opportunity now on the free kick for Knoxville into the area. It's headed away. Uche gets up highest. It's pushed along. O'Hearn trying to just drive into the box, goes down. Immediately got back to his feet. Another collision in the area. Carvajal, our official, looking the other way. Didn't see much in that one. That's a coming together, and that's a red card for Angelo Kelly. A huge moment in our match within 20 minutes. There was a coming together after the ball went out of play. And Angelo Kelly has received his marching orders. Jordan Skelton talks to the head official about what happened. Let's see the sequence here. There's a coming together in the box. This one looks like another clean challenge by Caputo, but it's cleared forward. It's going to be a one-on-one here between Juve and Kelly. He just raises that left hand up, catches Juve in the face after the ball went out of play. And when you do that, you really run yourself at the risk of the referee making a decision, and the decision is red. Angelo Kelly Rosales sent off. Discussion now between the fourth official, Sean Westerfield, and Edson Carvajal. Westerfield was right there when the players came together on the sideline. Now, how does this change things for the visitors? Now down to 10. Do they have to make any tweaks in terms of tactics or personnel? Rosales, a really important part of this side. It was his 15th appearance. He's got a yellow card as well to Montez Youth. So that makes it now 3 Lexington players booked. But of course, the most important booking now, sending Knoxville down to 10 men. Ilya Illich has some questions to answer, figure out what he wants to tweak with his side in terms of how they want to attack this one. They are a very good defensive team. They could try and just bolt things up, not allow Lexington a first win in this rivalry match. After all that, it's a throw-in for Lexington, and Knoxville are down to 10. Yank him over the top. Trying to drop that one forward. Lewis off his line. Falls on it. You can't imagine that's going to be a rare occurrence for the next hour plus for Knoxville. We're going to be really under a lot of pressure. In the midweek in the Jägermeister Cup, there were 2 red cards in both semifinal games. Charlotte Madison finished 10v10. Omaha finished with just 9 players on the field. Makes it now into 3 matches across the USL League One this week so far. 5 red cards in 3 games. We'll see how that trend continues through the rest of our match into the weekend. as the stakes continue to ramp up. Canati playing it across. Looks like Frank Ross has dropped a line into the midfield, so instead of being a 5-3-2, it's now a 5-3-1. So Knoxville sacrificing a bit of that attacking threat to keep their more or less general defensive shape quite similar. Here's Brown. Good challenge by O'Hearn and kicked it off of Brown. Results in a throw in now for the visiting side. Sean O'Hearn now in year number 2 with Knoxville. We have a brief pause in our match. Just halfway through our first half. Let's again flash back to the most important moment we've seen so far. Coming together between Kelly and Diouf. Just raises that left arm, catches Diouf in the face. There's no questioning the contact that was there. And it was an immediate decision. The referee had his eyes on it the entire way. Edson Carvajal immediately going to his back pocket. All night receiving a bit of treatment. And some extra attention to his gloves as well. Just a thumbs up. Bit of a stop-start first 25 minutes in this beautiful new stadium. 7,500-seater. Continuing to grow soccer, not only in the Lexington community, but across the country in the USL ecosystem. Lexington trying to march their way into the USL League One playoffs for the first time before they make their way up to the championship in 2025. Spoke to Ilya Illich as well ahead of the match. He played with the center forward for Lexington, Cam Lancaster, at Louisville City between 2015 and 2018. Two players won 2 USL Cups with Lou City. He spoke about just the growth he's seen in the USL from when he joined in 2015, even before then when he was aware and following the league when he was still in the college ranks. It's played centrally by Yankum. Strong challenge put in. Now a chance to drive forward on the break. Referee is gonna call for the free kick, and another yellow card now. 4 yellows in the first half for Lexington. Jorge Corrales, the latest to find himself booked. Abel Caputo. Jorge Corrales with this challenge here just leaves a foot in on Frank Ross. Montez Diouf and Modesto Mendez all booked.
The referee has issued a yellow card to Lexington Sporting Club's number 12, Jorge Corrales, in the 27th minute.
Lofted forward. Haugley gets ahead to it. It's a mishit clearance. Was it kept in play? It was. It's going to be just a throw in. Uche didn't get the right contact on it initially, but made sure not to concede the corner. Should be a big focus probably for Lexington is don't concede unnecessary set pieces. That one not necessarily unnecessary, but it is going to be a corner regardless for Knoxville here.
One Knox SC corner, number 10, Kempis Tequila.
Kempis Tequila. Another corner kick chance for him. This one going to be an in-swinger. A lot of numbers forward for Knoxville into the back post. Knight really confident to get a palm to that one. Push it away. Whipped right back into the back post. Flicked along. Tequila. No range over. Get to it. Rolls it across. Still a lot of numbers forward for Knoxville. Stuart Ritchie stands this one up. Header won by Skelton. Clever idea on the back heel, finds Ross at the end line to the top of the 18, but no one there for Knoxville, and a chance now for Nico Brown on the break. Got Atez Diouf with him. What a challenge that is, coming back to get in on that one. Marcel Canati rolling it back in. Just an unbelievable tackle in transition to end that move forward. Clipped forward, Canati. On the same wavelength with his forwards, and Sean Lewis can force Lancaster into a press before he picks this one up. Chrysler over the top. Now back to Knight. Yankum. Here's Tequila. Good turn to get past two. Frank Ross. Ross started this match as one of the attacking threats for Knoxville, playing in that front two. Of course, being brought back rather, after the red card for Kelly. Means that his play today may be judged more on what he can do on the defensive side in the press, and in those few moments in transition, and maybe on what he could have seen in an 11v11 showcase. Caputo, Marcel Canati, who can play as an attacking midfielder. He's lining up in that position more or less in this 4-2-3-1. Very often dropping deeper, making it a midfield three, allowing Yankum to adopt some further real estate as well. Caputo. Corrales. Now Brown. Good challenge. That ball forward. It's rolled out of play now. Another corner to come for Lexington SC here. Stuart Ritchie just getting a challenge in. Ritchie started all 16 League One games now for the visiting side.
That's another Commonwealth Credit Union corner for Lexington SC. Number 19,
Close down this close angle. Canati to deliver, whipped in, aiming for the back post. It's flicked along. As I thought it was, but untouched in the end. Out now for a Knoxville goal kick. See it again, Canati. For some set piece duties on his debut, whipped into the back post. Like on second view, was untouched along the way. Chance now for Sean Lewis to kill some time before he takes his goal kick. Still no shots on target for either side through a half hour into our match. These have been close affairs. 3 times they've played already this year. Lexington yet to score in those first 3 matches. Imagine if there was a match built to offer them the circumstances to get the best chance of scoring one. Might be today. Home debut for the men's side. Up a man. Over an hour to play if you factor in the stoppage time we'll likely have. It's played along. Gennady back. Caputo. There's Lou Young. Into the box. Untouched. Good defensive work again by Knoxville. Christian Lou Young plays a right back. Very advanced in the early stages of our match. Definitely going to be able to creep further and further forward. Sending off for Knoxville. Coming off a year where he was USL League One title winner with North Carolina. Started in that title game. Watch the USL Jägermeister Cup final between Forward Madison FC and the Northern Colorado Hailstorm FC as the tournament cup is hoisted by the inaugural winner on Saturday, September 28th on ESPN+. We saw 2 really good semifinal games this week. Back and forth affair in Madison. Christian Cheney with the heroics. Northern Colorado, who continue to be one of the most informed teams in the USL League One, trying to keep their rise up the standings going. They're still unbeaten in the Jägermeister Cup. 2 teams looking for their first ever trophy. Should be a good one coming up in just a few weeks. Flipped into the box. Brown sprinting for that. Lewis able to grab it and fall on it. Not a bad ball dropped forward. Gennady just carrying this one forward. Offered a bit of space and able to try and clip it into the box. You saw Brown making a play for it. It was just good defensive work by Chrysler to seal off the angle, see things out. Over 60% possession on the match for Lexington. Continue to try and just play this one around. It's Knoxville though with a chance and a bit of build-up. Fernandez forward for Ritchie. Played off now for Ross. Johnson offering an option, returns it back to Ross. Johnson. Now the Scotsman Ross. His pass aiming for Tequila is blocked. Now here's Juve. Corrales forward now for Brown. Onto the right foot. Floated into the box, and Lewis able to catch that one and fall on it unchallenged. Lexington continue to work their way around it. Well, cheers to local beer. West 6th Brewing is proud to be the official craft beer of Lexington Sporting Club. Find their locally crafted beers all around the state of Kentucky, from the flagship West 6 IPA to Sixer Light Lager. There's something for everyone. Head to west6.com to visit one of their dynamic tap rooms and learn more about Stadium Ale, the official craft beer of Lexington SC. Canati. Johnson. Brown driving this one to the end line. It's too heavy a touch. Nico Brown, 2 goals and an assist in League One play so far this year. Coming off a year where he had 8 goals in 32 appearances. That inaugural season for Lexington SC. Here's Lou Young. Caputo. Corrales. Canati just trying to slide that into Lancaster. Back to Canati. Final 5 minutes of regulation in our first half. It's Caputo. Diouf now. Brown. Diouf. Corrales wearing the captain's armband. Here's Lou Young now driving this one to the end line. A great ball, and that header is just wide. Out of nothing. Lou Young driving that one to the end line and finds Yannick Yankum in the box. He gives a thumbs up. It was a great bit of delivery from the full back, and the header goes just wide. He may want that one back. The best opportunity for either side on the match. And it goes begging. Still waiting for our first shot on target for either side. Here's Tequila. Diouf. Pass. Good deflection, so it's going to be out for a Lexington throw-in. Caputo. Yankum. Brown at the end line, clips it up, headed down and away by Chrysler. Now Ross keeps it in play, slides it forward, and he finds Corrales though. Here's Diouf. Canati. Canati trying to slide that one forward. Went between Yankum and Diouf. All the way back now to Lewis in the Knoxville goal. Ilya Illich, very interesting role he's got now. He's the interim head coach for this side. He played with them as a player coach in 2023. Across 21 appearances, the forward had 4 goals. Very influenced by Mark McKeever. Corrales, the free kick whistled there. He's on a yellow, so has to be careful here. There's more on Illich. Played under McKeever at Young Harris College from 2011 to 2014. Brought him over to the United States. Played at the collegiate level. He played for Lou City between 2015 and 2018. Returning to Knoxville in their inaugural professional season. This year switching solely to the coaching ranks as an assistant coach. Now seeing things on for his 5th match as the interim head coach. Lexington draw back in mid-August turned out to be the last one under McKeever as Tequila sizes up this free kick, whips it into the box, headed up and away. Tequila wins that header over Juve. Now Ritchie. Good header up. Haugley gets there, trying to just push that one along. Had a few options alongside him, but it's won back by Lexington. Played down. Lou Young defended tightly by Chrysler. It's good work from the center back who was out of position after the set piece, and Knox will not only survive any potential counter, but win the ball back. That's going to be potentially a free kick. No, it won't be. Haugley got there first. Went down a little too softly in the referee's eyes as we enter now into 4 minutes of added time at the end of our first half. Here's Diouf. Lancaster fires that one. Lou Young keeps it in play. Corrales, Juve, Brown. Again, one-on-one with O'Hearn. Clips this one up, and Sean Lewis able to catch it and fall on it. Not seen a ton from Cam Lancaster, and that's been more or less a product of the way the game state has been. Just a very deep defensive block for one Knoxville, keeping the center forward at bay. Talking to Ilya Illich, he's still very close to the forward that is now on the opposing side. He's able to offer some small tips and tricks, knows how Lancaster likes to play with so much experience playing alongside him, offers a unique perspective for Illich in trying to play against him and game plan against a forward who can score from pretty much anywhere he gets the ball. You saw in the open that free kick he had against Northern Colorado, just a free kick from 30 yards out. One that if you're an opposing side and concede that, you kind of have to put your hands up and say, all right, fair enough. He's got that kind of quality in his locker. The question is, can Lexington find him in some spots for that quality to shine? Good strength shown by Yankum. Advantage is played. He's still on his feet. Maltese man trying to dance this one around. In the end, taken off of him. Advantage was gone at that point as well. Corrales, and for Lancaster. Out of play, it's going to be a throw-in for Lexington. Quickly thrown back into play. Rolled across, Yankum. nearing the end of our stoppage time. Clipped into the box. Strong header away by Chrysler. Just moves that ball out of the box. Diving header. Kanadi wins the loose ball. A lot of these 50-50s fall in the way of Lexington. What can they try and create in the final seconds of our half? It's cleared up and away. But we'll stay in touch on the initial ball. Kept in. Yankum. Firing that one across. Felt like it took a deflection. Referee concurs. We'll have enough time for a corner. Likely one of the last touches of our first half. What can Lexington try and create to tear up the notes for both coaches before we enter halftime?
Lexington 20 club number 19, Marcel Kennedy.
Had the 4. Now we'll have a little bit longer for this corner kick. Whipped into the 6-yard box, just over the head of Modesto Mendez. Goes out of play for a 1 Knox throw in. That will do it for our first 45 minutes. Level on the scoreboard, not level on the players on the field. The big moment of our first 45 minutes, Angelo Kelly Rosales seen red. What can we see from the two sides to potentially break this deadlock in our second half? It's going to be an uphill battle for Knoxville, down a man. But still, as things stand entering halftime, no goals to show for either side. And the 7th meeting between these teams all time in the Barrel Brawl. A first time at home in the USL League One for Lexington SC at their new Lexington SC Stadium. Some halftime content to come from across the USL League One. But our score at halftime, it's Lexington SC 0 and 1 Knoxville SC 0.
We live with you, build with you, grow up with you, and dream with you. At Central Bank, we belong to the same communities you do. You're our neighbors, friends, and business partners. And through the relationships we build with you every day, we consistently serve you better. That's what highly personal banking is all about. We start with you.
Race to the top.
You're on.
It's time to power up your old checking account. That's why Commonwealth Credit Union created Power Checking. This incredible all-in-one account powers your spending and with built-in high-yield savings, grows your balance at the same time. No minimums, no limits, just unparalleled benefits.
Raise it back down.
So kick it up a notch with Power Checking, only from Commonwealth Credit Union, the official credit union of Lexington SC.
Halftime in the Barrel Brawl between Lexington SC and 1 Knoxville SC. Still scoreless on our match here today. It's the first match of the League One weekend, but we had some big games on Wednesday in the semifinals of the USL Jägermeister Cup. We can flash back and see what happened on Wednesday.
Boyce came crashing in. Still Devin Boyce. He shoots, scuffles through. Osmond! It's the captain! Mitch Osmond gives Forward Madison the lead. Sorensen slips it inside. It's Johnson. Now Alvarez hits the clutch and then scores! Luis Alvarez late in the half. rivals this one. Stephen Payne lost in the cross. Falling in is Gebhardt. Now Cheney! They don't need the whistle. They've got Christian Cheney at their behest.
It's been close. Over the top though, Rendon, the target. He leaves it for Horde, and he puts it home. Clinical from the forward for Northern Colorado. A lot of space to drive into. Horde and Rendon options. He lays it off. Rendon one-on-one makes it 2-0. Glances over his shoulder. The flag stays down. And Bruno Rendon makes things 2-0 for Northern Colorado. Familiar voice there. We'll look ahead now to September 28th. A great head-to-head showdown between Northern Colorado, the 1 seed, and Forward Madison. Both teams looking for their first ever trophy. A lot of excitement for that one coming up just 2 weeks' time until that one on ESPN+. Take another break on the other side. Some news and notes and more notes from across the USL League One.
Is it somebody's birthday? Dad, come watch us hit this ugly piñata. Dad!
When Hornets show up, so do we. Terminix it.
The best nights start with Jägermeister. Made with 56 botanicals. Always served ice cold.
It would take a miracle to come back from this. Heartbreaking end to the season. But what's this?
For the moments when anticipation
Clock's counting down. 5 seconds. 3, 2.
becomes celebration. Jägermeister. Meister the moment.
Goodrum pounds that ball, and the boys in purple soaring.
When mosquitoes show up, so do we. Terminix it.
Yeah, trick. I said what I said. I'd rather be famous instead. You're more than a superstar. Hear that? I said it. You better bet. I said it. Run when you hear that. Run when you hear that. You better bet. I said it. Run when you hear that. Run when you hear that. Run when you hear that. Run when you hear that.
Halftime between Lexington and Knoxville, still scoreless in the 7th edition of the Barrel Brawl. We'll see what happens in our second 45 minutes between these sides, so we can look more big picture across the USL League One and see some news and notes from across the USL League One. It was a big week, of course, and the new stadium debut here today. The women's team playing in the Super League back last Sunday. Today, League One debut against Knoxville. And the Jägermeister Cup final coming up in the first ever match. That'll be coming up on September 28th. Very excited for that one between Madison and Northern Colorado. And matches beginning on the weekend of November 2nd for the top 8 regular season finishers. We'll see who can try and squeak through and get into the playoffs. Currently, Knoxville going to get through. Lexington trying to claw themselves back up and push themselves further up the table. And here are the standings. You can see in 10th place currently are Lexington trying to push up. A big note for Union Omaha, currently top of the table. If they win tomorrow, and they'll be rooting for Knoxville to get the 3 points today. If Lexington lose, if Tormenta lose, and Omaha win, they will guarantee themselves a playoff spot the league leaders in a really good position to try and get themselves into the playoffs for another year in a row. Now looking ahead at some of those games that will be coming tomorrow across the USL League One, Charlotte Independence taking on the Richmond Kickers on ESPN+. Northern Colorado and Union Omaha, a great rematch. Two players will be suspended for Omaha after a really fiery, competitive match on Wednesday. Chattanooga and Greenville, and then rounding out the night, Spokane and South Georgia Trementa. That game on CBS Sports Golazo. Very exciting coming up on USL League One tomorrow. Looking now back again, live shots here. We can look back on some of the big moments from Week 19 with our goal and our save of the week from the USL League One.
They've got to go get another. Lewis got the pass away. Here's Gonzalez. Just like that, it's 2-1. Garcia. How is it? Carrera Garcia falls to the 15-year-old again. Can he equalize it? It's saved. Brooks Thompson, take a bow. What a bright spark he's been in this match.
Now we get to see our team of the week from Week 19, featuring a lot from Spokane. You saw Azriel Gonzalez with that goal of the week. Lee Veidman, the coach of the week for Spokane. Heel, the headline player from that one. Northern Colorado as well with Billy King, Bruno Rendon. They're beginning to really come into form. Lucky Oprah as well in that back line. Pedro Dolabella, an Omaha player, in the team of the week as well. One more break. On the other side of this one, we have our first half highlights and stats and kickoff between Lexington and Knoxville.
Lexington is the Kentuckiest place in the world. Just look at it. It's by far the bluegrassiest, the bourbonist. See? The artsiest, and hands down, the horsiest. Oh, look, that one has a baby. I don't know why you would look anywhere else. Looking for the coolest, most Kentuckiest getaway? Look at Lexington.
UK Healthcare Orthopedic Surgery and Sports Medicine offers comprehensive treatments for bone, joint, and muscle disorders and injuries of all types. From complex repairs to complete replacements. UKHealthcare.com, the power of advanced medicine.
Welcome back to Lexington. Having some fun for the first home match at Lexington SC Stadium in the USL League One, still scoreless at halftime. These fans hoping for a goal for Lexington to try and get a first ever win over one Knoxville. We can look back now on our first half highlights and see how we got to this point. Still scoreless, but some big events to show you. We start off early on in the match. There were some good opportunities for Lexington, and we'll jump first into the very first minute of our match, right out of the gut, trying to get into some attacking flow. Dropped over the top for Yannick Yankum, and really Christian Liu Young, who just slices that one just wide. We saw some good opportunities with some shots, none of them finding the target for either side. 11th minute now. Again, it's Lexington who are in the control of this one. Yankum sliding it across. The first time playing in his new colors for Marcel Canati, trying to have a shot from distance with his left foot, just slicing that one wide of goal. The Austrian midfielder making his debut in the match today. 15th minute now. It's going to be a chance for Knoxville driving forward into the attack. Lost by Ross, got back to Ross, put into the area, takes a slight deflection. It's going to fall for Tequila though. A bit of a miscommunication. A brave header by Modesto Mendez. May have been on target for Knight, but blocked in the end. Very good work defensively by Lexington on that instance. Now we jump forward to the 20th minute. The biggest moment of our first half to this point. There's a coming together between Angelo Kelly and Attez Diouf, and it results in a red card for the midfielder of Knoxville. Angelo Kelly sent off, and down to 10 R1 Knoxville. One more chance to show you probably the best one of the half. Lexington swinging it out to the right-hand side. A solid move here to just drive it onto the right foot. Stood up by Liu Young, and the header by Yankum just wide of frame. He may have wanted to do better with that one, but put it wide. Still no shots on target for Lexington. As we flash now again here with some halftime stats. A lot of possession for Lexington, slightly bigger in the shot department, 5-2. But of course, both teams looking to change that shot on target number, and probably more importantly, that goal number still scoreless between Lexington and 1 Knoxville. There's Nico Brown. He was involved in a lot of one-on-one duels, trying to get past Sean O'Hearn. He'll likely be a big factor in our second half between these two sides. Knoxville level on the scoreboard, but down a man. Frank Ross and company have a big task to try and get not just a point, but if they want to try and get a real smash and grab performance and walk away as the true ruiners of their home debut for the men's side and get the 3 points today. Ross rolls us back underway. Heading from right to left will be Knoxville in their white kits. And the blacks are Lexington, heading from left to right. Glad you can join us this Friday evening on ESPN Plus. I'm Jack Edwards here in the broadcast booth. A pleasure as always to share his time with you. Canati trying to get on it. We've seen his first touches for Lexington in his new colors. Referee whistling for a free kick and allowing play to restart with the home side. Cross, here's Modesto Mendez. Canati in the midfield, again making his debut. The Austrian midfielder played in Bulgaria and Australia. Brisbane Roar to start off 2023. Here's Modesto Mendez. Slid forward. Diouf rolling it back. It's a shot. It'll be our first one on target. It's tame from Canati, expected to be saved by Sean Lewis. First shot of the half. First one on target for either side in the match so far. There's Alexis Cerritos. He came on at halftime in place of Abel Caputo. Caputo on a yellow card. Bringing him off for Cerritos, a much more attack-minded player, really signals what Lexington feel they can have in our second half, which is a lot of possession and potentially a lot of opportunities for attacking players to try and make a difference against a really low, compact, stubborn defensive block for Knoxville. Here's Ross onto the right foot, clipping that one forward, but it's behind Haugli. And it's out now for a goal kick. Sievert Haugli having to play a real box-to-box role, the Norwegian midfielder. First year since joining back in December with this Knoxville side, offers some physicality, some strength in the heart of the pitch. But with the sending off for Angelo Kelly, it means that almost all midfielders, fullbacks included, are going to have to really pull their weight on both ends when they have the rare counterattack opportunity, take advantage of it. Dropped forward for Christian Liu Young, just too heavy. His run takes him into the billboards. It's out for a goal kick for Knoxville, but going to need to be a really spirited, focused effort from Knoxville to see this one out. Sean Lewis, who's taking this goal kick. Has 6 clean sheets in the league. A league low, just 12 goals allowed. Lexington know how hard it is to score against Knoxville. They haven't done it in 3 meetings. Across 7 halves of soccer, they have not scored a single goal. Knoxville trying to keep that run going through our match today. Youth climbs highest, falls for Cerritos. Those are coming together there, and that's going to be a free pausing play. I believe he's saying not for a free kick or anything, but just wants Cerritos a moment to get some treatment. At least get a... Cerritos back to his feet, but questioning why there wasn't a free kick to accompany it. Ball will be dropped, and Haugley can get us back underway. Jorge Corrales, Altez Diouf, and Modesto Mendez are all on yellow cards. A factor to watch out for. It's a great first touch. An even better second one. Driving into the 18-yard box now, trying to drag it across, and able to be blocked off there by Uche. Solid move, though, by looked to be Frank Ross, who was just driving forward with that one by himself. It's going to take maybe a moment of inspiration for Knoxville, down a man, to find a way to break open the score themselves. Cerritos crawling forward, rolls it across, fired, and it's blocked. That one took a big deflection and almost fell for Cam Lancaster, who threw a foot at it, trying to spear it into his control, but it's cleared forward, headed down. Lexington again can resume possession. They had 65% of it in the first half. Angelo Kelly will be suspended for the next match. That one's going to be at Union Omaha for 1 Knoxville. Gennady rolls it across. Altez Diouf. Uche, Corrales, Gennady. Makes a slight deflection. Yankum may have hit his own man trying to play that ball into the box, but it does come back to Yankum. Lou Young. Tight defense by Richie. Yankum. Work his way all by himself. Yankum, top of the box, bumped over. Lancaster, it's going to be a free kick. You were wondering if referee was playing advantage or just did not feel it was a foul. There was a coming together on the top of the 18. It's going to be a free kick. Let's see it again. Yankum dribbling all by himself, gets past Fernandez, one-on-one. He's not inside the box, definitely not going to be a penalty, but Haugley penalized. And it's going to be a free kick right on the edge of the 18-yard box. Yankum slow to get back up to his feet. Will get a little bit of treatment. 6'5" Sievert Haugley. Not fun to collide with him. This is an interesting free kick now for Lexington. How you approach this one. Last match, Cam Lancaster scored an outrageous 30-yard free kick. So you think naturally going maybe 10, 12 yards closer to goal would be easier for Lancaster to score, but sometimes when you're that close to goal, it's hard to get the ball up and over the wall in time for it to find the back of the net and seriously challenge the goalkeeper. If there's anybody who you trust to pose a serious threat from this free kick, it's going to be Cam Lancaster. Edson Carvajal saying that Sievert Haugley needs to go off the field to get some treatment. That's going to be a factor. You imagine who you put in that wall. Haugley probably the first player at 6'5". They still have the 6'4" Jordan Skelton, 6'4" Jalen Chrysler, and 6'1" Danny Fernandez, who can line themselves up in the wall.
Fans, your Lexington Sporting Club Super League team just scored to take a 0-1 goal advantage over Dallas Trinity FC.
Here's the home PA announcing the goal for the Super League side of the Dallas Trinity. playing that one on the road. They got kicked off just a few moments ago. Looking for a first win themselves. Be a chance for a really special night for Lexington if they can come up with something here. Marcel Canady and Cameron Lancaster. We're talking over this one. The left foot, Canady, the right foot of Lancaster. Six for Knoxville in the wall. Lancaster steps up, only strikes that wall. Disappointing effort from the forward and headed away. A lot of build up for that free kick, nothing coming of it. Trying to just power through, one-on-one. Offsides. There's the frustration for Knoxville there. They were screaming at the assistant referee that should have been offsides on either Atez Juf or on CC Uche. Uche, the looked like he'd be in an onside position on that one, but Diouf fighting for that one. They'll take something ugly. Doesn't have to be a pretty one to open their tally at their new home stadium for the men's side in the USL League One. They'll play again on Wednesday against Fuego here at home before traveling to Richmond on the weekend. A big 3 games in 8 days. They know that the outlook on the playoffs could be radically different after this stretch, either good or negative for Lexington. They sit currently in 10th place. The 1 point they get in this match will help push them a little closer, but with that game in hand on Tormented, they could put themselves in a real spot of bother and make things uncomfortable for the sides around them in that race for the final spot. Canady skips past one challenge, rolls it off Lancaster. Lancaster not able to win possession back for his side. Yankum, a foul from behind. It's going to be a free kick. Frank Ross is trying to carry that one away from danger, did so successfully. Second look at this one is Ross just dealing with both Lou Young and Yankum. In the end, fouled from behind. Look at that. Look at the playoff race. Tormenta with 17 points, currently occupying that last spot in 8th place. Greenville, despite a really tough run of form for them in the league, are still on 24 points, 7 clear of Tormenta in that 7th place spot. So really for Richmond with 13, all the way up to Tormenta with 17, between 11th and 8th, just 4 points separate those sides. And they may be 4, and if Fuego can toss a good result here in the final stretch of the year, could really make things an interesting contest for that final spot. But it could be as many as 5 teams fighting for just 1 spot in the playoffs. Unless Greenville with 24, Spokane with 25. Knoxville, who had 25 entering the day, could find themselves victim of a late chase if they have a bad run of form. But you imagine the playoffs. If it was the top 7, you wouldn't be surprised, plus someone from the rest of the sides in the league. It's a free kick now for Knoxville. It's going to be a yellow card given there. Looked to be to Jordan Skelton. It is a free kick for Knoxville. Let's see it again here. Tossed in. Some good strength shown. It's just a kick out at the ball. Catches the back of the leg. Results now in this free kick and a dangerous chance here. Callum Johnson, player tasked with this set piece. When you're down a man, set pieces can be your best friend. Trying to find a way to open the scoring. Johnson whipped into the box, dangerous delivery. Oh, almost an own goal, but Amal Knight was alert to it. Sievert Haugli will make life difficult as he rolls it back into play, but it's Yankum. It's one back by Ross. Here's Ross driving this one forward, has Tequila to his left. One-on-one with Corrales to the end line.
The referee has issued a yellow card to one.
Out now for a
Jordan Skelton.
Corner kick.
And a Lexington Sporting Club's number 21, Christian Lu Young.
Christian Lu Young was also booked in that coming together. He was the player committing the foul. It looked like Jordan Skelton was booked potentially for dissent. Get your confirmation on the reason if you get it. But the players booked Skelton for Knoxville and Christian Lu Young for Lexington. Skelton will make his way back forward. The captain scored in the final Jägermeister Cup game from a corner in a 1-0 win over Tormenta. Delivery in the 6-yard box, headed away. Mendez got his head to it, pushed it out of the box. Now O'Hearn able to put it back in the mixer, just lofting it in. It's big coming together, and there may have been a head injury in the area, but they'll play advantage. It's turned over immediately. One back, played forward. On the left foot now, for a shot from distance from Tequila is blocked. Referee is going to pause play now for that head injury. Coming together, Mendez getting the worst of it. Referee was playing advantage, letting things continue. Yeah, just a tough one there. Sievert Haugli colliding heads with Mendez. It's more just a brief stun than anything more serious, as Ilya Illich discusses with Frank Ross. Ross been one of the brighter spots for Knoxville in terms of trying to find a way to generate something in our second half. Aaron Powell, his side, will likely have much of the possession for the rest of our match, but what can they do with it? It's all about moving the ball quickly from side to side, try and open up spaces in this deep Knoxville defense. We're back rolling. Debutant, Kanadi. Kanadi. Yankum. Brown onto the right foot, sits down one, lays it off. Mendez out of his feet from distance, it hit a hand. It sits up for Mendez, but it's going to be a free kick. Around the back of the net, and the crowd will cheer that. But it was after the whistle had gone. CC Uche is making the appeal that it should be a yellow card as well, but Edson Carvajal waves that away. Let's see it again. Mendez got it out of his feet. And when your hand rises up like that into, I don't want to say an unnatural position, but it runs the risk. And it was Jordan Skelton whose hand it hit. That would have been a second yellow card if Carvajal felt that it seriously impacted things. Good chance now for Lexington, standing over this free kick. The previous one by Lancaster, poor by his lofty standards. 7 goals in all competitions with his new side. The all-time leading scorer for Lou City, 3rd in the USL Championship. Nine goals last year for Lou City. He'll be the likely taker of this free kick. The debutant will also make his appeals with the left foot. Just a 4-man wall this time. Lancaster on the right foot. Bounces through the wall. Lancaster trying to pick out his options. Lu Young is one of them. Onto the right foot. Lancaster finds a pocket of space. At the end line, low delivery. In the end, just about enough is done to carry it out of danger and play it forward. It's a risky touch. Oh, and just enough done by Corrales. Knew that Stuart Ritchie was hot on his shoulder, trying to make sure that life was difficult. Cerritos on the press. It's a heavy touch, and Diouf turns it over. Gets it, I should say. Yankum. Lancaster. Bounces right back to Yankum, and his first touch was out of play. It's going to be a goal kick now for Sean Lewis. Cam Lancaster beginning to grow into our match. Lexington have had 74% possession in the opening 15+ minutes of our second half. Lancaster trying to find his way into the goal scoring charts for the first time at Lexington SC Stadium. Lewis gets us back underway. First time shot on target. Amal Knight, though, close enough to his goal line to not have any serious threat with that one. Solid first time effort. And if Knight was cheating a bit further forward, could have been a stunning goal for Knoxville. Lifted forward by Gennady. Headed away, Haugli forward, the 1-2. The Norwegian keeps his run going. Tequila the option forward, but in the end has to slide it along to Johnson. Tequila drops off. The spin. Here's Ross. Nice idea there for Knoxville. It's going to lead a really hopeful run forward by Johnson, trying to slide and keep that one in play. Just couldn't quite do enough.
In the 67th minute, entering the lineup for Lexington Sporting Club, number 20, Cameron Lacey. He replaces number 8, Yannick Yankum.
Yannick Yankum making way. Coming on, Cameron Lacey. More changes as well. On the flip side now for Knoxville. Richard Ballard, as well as Stavros Zerakostis will come into our match. Coming out, so make it 2 changes now for both sides. Lacey coming on now. Acquired in August on loan. Making his second appearance off the bench. Zerakostis, acquired back in July. Trying to add to his goal and his assist that he has for his tally. Got that on his debut.
He replaces number 11,
against Chattanooga Red Wolves. Miss hit there by Gennady, but only finds Uche. Great strength shown by Johnson. Haugli gives it back to the midfielder. Quick 1-2. Lifted forward, knocked down. Here's Haugli, rolls it across. Ballard, opportunity here on the left foot, and he puts it away. Down a man, but up a goal. Right off the bench and onto the score sheet. Richard Ballard out of his feet. And a fantastic left-footed finish. Out of nothing, Knoxville trying to spoil the home debut for Lexington SC.
Number 17, Richard Ballard.
Haugley just spotted Ballard, making himself available, got it onto the left foot, and that's a fantastic finish. Not savable for a Mall Knights. And Lexington, who have controlled a ton of possession. More shots. They find themselves down. Ilya Illich may be the most happy man in the entire stadium. His substitution immediately paying off. Ballard coming on, the Louisville native returning to Kentucky. And returning with big effect. He puts a good challenge in there. It's still alive here. Ballard on the turn. Now, if you thought Knoxville were going to try and maybe hold on, try and make things difficult for Lexington to get a first ever win, maybe a 0-0 draw, down a man isn't a bad result. They've got a lead to hold on to now. They would be happy to see things out as it is. Strong header by Skelton. It's brought down. Now creeping forward is Zerakostas. Scott Fernandez is an option. Played forward now. Fernandez, his advantage is played. A lot of space now. The right-footed effort, and that one's not too far away from the center back. Head in his hands. He doesn't find himself in that spot too often, but it wasn't too far off. Advantage was played, and he made a great run forward. Fernandez with the substitution being afforded a bit more room to go forward. Stuart Ritchie coming off. It slid Fernandez up a little bit. He took advantage by driving into that space. It's almost like a 4-4-1 now rather than the 5-3-1. Bumping a player up into the midfield maybe to help with this press a little bit, not to allow Lexington too much ability to pass the ball unchecked. First assist for Haugley since joining the side. Poor pass, intercepted. Brown coming from behind. Haugley tried to get that ball moving as well, but was leaving it. O'Hearn, who had been fouled, therefore played advantage, and it's still with Knoxville, who despite being down a man, look full of confidence. Over the top, it's dropped in. Zerakostas looks up to see his options in the box. Still keeps it at his feet. Plays it across. In the end, Zerakostas and Fernandez run out of space. A little cynical there from Zerakostas to just carry that one back into play, but it's tossed back in by Lexington.
Fans, official attendance for tonight's Lexington Sporting Club match is 2,416. Thank you for your incredible support, and let's go!
Here's Diouf. That's a heavy challenge. Diouf left in a pile, but he gets back up quickly despite a hobble. Played forward for Lou Young. Lacey making himself an option. Lou Young creeping it forward towards the 18. Kanadi lifting that one up and over the goal. West 6th Brewing is a proud partner of Lexington Sporting Club with dynamic tap room locations all throughout the state of Kentucky. You can enjoy West 6 locally crafted beers for all your adventures. Enjoy a Stadium Ale, the official craft beer of Lexington SC, at all home games or at your favorite retailers around Lexington. Coming into the match, Kalen Fox making way. Modesto Mendez, who's on a yellow card. 2 changes left for Lexington should they want to make them. 1 sub-period in which to do it. 3 changes in 2 periods for Knoxville. If they want to try and tweak anything try and see out their lead into the end of our match. Brown driving forward. He's brought down, but it falls to Cerritos. He overhits his pass for Liu Young. The referee will pull it back. Advantage was played, but advantage did not last long enough. It's going to be a free kick and a yellow card given to Knoxville.
The referee has issued a yellow card to one Knox SC's number 5, Jalen Chrysler.
We'll see it again here. Chrysler just leaves a foot in. Brought down Brown. Free tried to play advantage, but it's going to be a free kick now. Saw Kalen Fox come on just a moment ago. Go one-on-one with his opposite number. Fox at 6'3", a Louisville native. Could he be the first man maybe on some delivery into the box here to get on the score sheet at home? Diouf and Lancaster. It's going to be Diouf from distance, and it's saved by Lewis. That one had some knuckle on it. Lewis had to see it all the way through. Couldn't make any big sudden movements. Lewis makes the save as we enter the final 15 minutes. Slid forward. Rolled along, Zerocostas in the box now, his shot saved by Knight. Amal Knight immediately back to his feet, barking out instructions to his side. He wants to see more defensively, having to make the stop on that shot from Zerocostas. Young past the first defender. Last touch in Knoxville. It's a throw in for Liu Young and Lexington. Fox. Fox to Liu Young. Bounces kindly for Liu Young. First time from Fox. Lifted into the box. Lancaster brings it down with his chest. Rolls it out. Uche. Fox now. Pushes it along. Liu Young into the area. It's pushed away. Amal Knight. The player not in the attacking half for Lexington. He is coming quite close to that, offering the services to keep this ball in areas that press Knoxville. Uche. Corrales. Kalen Fox. It's fired out. Liu Young's first time pass is blocked. Here's Lacey now. On the turn, goes down. Looks to the referee, but nothing given. Zerocostas wasn't fouled there either. Referee let him play continue. Rolled forward. Lacey the target. A good challenge by Skelton. It's going to roll out of play, out for a corner kick.
With the Commonwealth Credit Union corner for Lexington Sporting Club, number 19, Marcel Kennedy.
Marcel Kennedy with his corner kick. Whipped into the back post. It sits up in the box, and it's hacked away by Chrysler. Now Amal Knight will go into the attacking half. Played forward. for Nico Brown. One-on-one with Ballard, the goal scorer. Brown into the box. He finds Cerritos. He drags it away. Says Diouf onto the left foot. He gets that one all wrong. Frustrated with himself there. Ends up in the crowd. Rudy Castro, Jessen Vanderploem will be coming into the match.
Number 9, Rodolfo Castro Jr.
Kempis, Tequila, player making way. Doesn't get his 10th goal of the USL League One season. Tough match for him to operate in as the lone forward for much of the match after the red card for Angelo Kelly. Sievert Hagley also coming out of the match. That Vanderploem, Castro coming in, trying to just offer some fresh legs in the defense. Trying to make sure that life isn't too easy. The Dutch midfielder Vanderploem making his 7th appearance in the League One season. Good touch from Diouf. Rolled along, Lou Young. Here's Fox. Brown. Brought down, but it's a clean challenge. Costas trying to get past Fox, but by any means the defender stops him. Over the head of Costas. Out for a throw for Lexington. 2 more changes to be made. Michael Agbula and Tate Robertson.
18, Mitch Agbula. He replaces number 16, CC Uche.
Uche will make way for Agbula, like for like in the defense.
Also in the lineup for Lexington Sporting Club. Number 2, Tate Robertson. He replaces number 21, Christian Lou Young.
Lou Young making way for Tate Robertson. Robertson still waiting for his first goal contribution of 2024. 2023, he was the club's leading assister with 8 assists. He also tacked on 4 goals as well. You imagine the final 8 minutes plus stoppage time, he may have a few opportunities overlapping from this right-hand side to make an impact on the match. Celia Illich trying to instruct his side to see out this result. Richard Ballard came on and found the back of the net. One final change to be made. It's James Thomas to come in. Thomas in his 3rd year with Knoxville. He played on the League Two side back in 2022.
One Knoxville SC, number 16, James Thomas. He replaces number 40, Sean O'Hearn.
Sean O'Hearn, the player making way. Both sides have used all 5 of their subs. It's the last sprint to the finish in our match today. Robertson on the left foot gets that one all wrong. It's cleared away. Agbula. Cerritos. Kennedy making himself an option in the midfield, but rolled back now. Agbula. Robertson. Kennedy drops it in for Robertson. Solid touch. It's cleared away by Zarakostas. Robertson wants the ball quickly. He wants to take this corner, potentially. A bit of speed. Robertson. Robertson whipped into the box, headed away. The shot from distance, Corrales. Solid contact, but always rising, a challenge to keep that one. We can see it again, Jorge Corrales, the fullback. It's cleared away, good initial header out of the box by Skelton, and Corrales backing onto it. Just couldn't quite get the right contact. Sean Lewis will be in no rush. The referee will slowly make sure that he doesn't take too much time. It's a free kick going against Lexington. Cameron Lancaster frustrated. Chrysler, who was fouled, will take this free kick. Lofted forward, headed away. Goal kick was rolling as it was being taken. Second try him all night. Puts a left finger on it to make sure it doesn't roll as he takes it. Back underway. Just minutes left in this match. It would be a devastating defeat for Lexington against your rivals who you have never beaten. Your home debut, trying to get a vital few points to push yourself back up towards the playoffs. Lancaster, it falls for the forward. It's pushed away. Zarakostas trying to, Rudy Castro rather, trying to begin a counter, but it rolls to Agbula. Lacey, flipped forward. This one just bouncing everywhere. Knocked away by Fernandez. Lofted forward, too heavy for Robertson. Out now for a goal kick for one Knox. Referee will book Sean Lewis for taking too long. You're wondering if Lewis would be able to get away with another goal kick, taking just a little longer than he should. But here in the 89th minute, he is booked. So he has to make sure that he doesn't get sent off. They're out of substitutions. Should the nightmare scenario happen, they would have to send an outfielder into goal, being down to 9 men. But Lewis, just a lone yellow. Say I can't take this too quickly with the player right in front of me. Lancaster making sure he couldn't drop the ball and kill more time. Played forward, Ballard challenging, but it bounces past him. Jorge Corrales lets it go out for a throw in. Agbula now. Robertson. Fox.
The fourth official has indicated that there will be a minimum of 6 minutes.
6 minutes added on. Is that a little boost to the crowd, a boost to the team? They have a solid amount of time to work with, but it is quickly fleeting. Robertson throws it into Fox. Lofts it into the area. Ballard gets ahead to it. It's up. Thomas further away. Agbula back to Knight. All night up to Kalen Fox. Robertson lofts it forward. Lacey can't get past Fernandez. Fernandez just plays this one upfield. It's a great ball to Castro in the end, who can try and kill some more time. He lays it forward for Fernandez. A foot race here between Agbula and Fernandez, and the defender for Lexington wins that one. Fernandez has to sprint all the way back now to his back line as Knight plays it forward. It's Brown. Robertson. His delivery is blocked. Another corner now for Lexington. Their 7th of the match now. Robertson quickly gets it ready to take. Everyone back defensively for Knoxville. Robertson high into the box, chested down. Both sides appealing, mostly Knoxville for a handball, but nothing given. Kanadi lifted up. Fox chests it down. It's past one challenge. Rolls it off now. Robertson onto the left foot. Sweeping into the back post. Lewis spills it initially, but falls on it. Sean Lewis. His heart must have been in his mouth when he first couldn't secure both hands on this ball. But fortunately for him, Nico Brown was sprinting to the back post trying to get that if he didn't catch it, but it wasn't ready if he dropped it. It's a free kick now. Ballard wins it. Currently has the match winner. Thomas and Brown will fight for this one. Go Brown. It's a throw in for Lexington. Initial signal may have been way of Knoxville, but maybe Lexington's throw in deep inside their own half. Launched in. Header forward by Vanderploem. Coming together there. Another one here. Ballard gets onto it. Ballard on the press. Felt he was pulled back slightly, but Knight quickly plays it forward. Fox up the field, sliding in. Callum Johnson. Lofted forward. It's a corner. Knoxville furious. They felt that there was a foul in the area. But Tate Robertson can take another corner kick. We're into the final minute of stoppage time. A lot of numbers in the box, including Amal Knight. Some pushing and shoving. The goalkeeper right in the center of it. virtually all 21 players on the field in the area. Knoxville trying to see this one out. They were down a man but took that lead. Tate Robertson lofting the corner in. The header can't quite be found. Goalie is gone. Knight was down in the box. There is no goalkeeper in the final seconds of our match. Knight coming onto your screen. It's played forward though. Will there be a shot from distance? It's blocked out of play. Nico Brown tracking back, got in front of the shot from distance. Knight wouldn't have been on hand to make the save. We've had the 6. We've also had a lot of time wasting from Knoxville. Edson Carvajal. It's up to him and how much time he adds on. Here's Thomas. Throws it in. Ballard keeps it in play. Agbula just rolls it forward. Is there time for one last foray up the field? Rolled up. Robertson returns it to Fox. Dropped over the top for Tate Robertson. A foot race. One that Skelton's going to win. Played back now to Lewis, and that will do it. A heroic effort from one Knoxville who went down a man in the first 45 minutes. But they take the lead in the second and take the 7th edition of the Barrel Brawl 1-0. Richard Ballard, the hero. Another clean sheet for Sean Lewis and company, number 7 on the season. A joint league lead in that mark, and they go 1 point off the top of the USL League One. What a match we saw between these two sides. Gutsy from Knoxville, and they ruin the first home match for the men's side at Lexington's new stadium. Let's take a break. On the other side, we can show you our full-time highlights and stats as Knoxville take the Barrel Brawl 1-0. Warm embraces Ilya Illich and his former teammate Cam Lancaster. It's Illich who's the happier man today. The interim head coach sees his first win in the Barrel Brawl, 1-0. Gutsy performance at the new Lexington SC Stadium. We can look at our full-time highlights. After this one, it was an interesting first 45 minutes between these two teams. It was Lexington who controlled a bit of the better early opportunities. 11th minute here, we'll see an opportunity on the attack. A nice move to slide this one over to the new man, Marcel Canati from distance. His shot going just right. How different a match it could have been if that one found the bottom corner. The Austrian midfielder making his debut today after being announced on Thursday. 20th minute now we jump to the big coming together here. It was the biggest moment of the first half. A red card given to Angelo Kelly Rosales, sent off the field after striking Atez Diouf in the face. He's frustrated, and they went into the break 0-0. 41st minute is actually the best chance we saw probably in the entire match for Lexington here. It's going to be a nice move on the far side to drop this one into the head of Yannick Yankum, but his header goes just wide of goal. Stayed 0-0. We entered into halftime at that score line. We jump now to the second half. Richard Ballard was the second half substitute. And this is just a nice move here by Haugley. Sees the run that's being made. Ballard gets it, drives it onto that left foot, and puts that one into the top corner. They take the 1-0 lead. They see out the 1-0 lead, and they ruin the first home match for the men's side with a final score of 1-0. Final scenes here as we see your full-time stats. A lot of possession and a slight edge in the shot department for Lexington. A contentious affair. 8 combined yellow cards. The red card for Angelo Kelly Rosales. But the decisive moment coming from Richard Ballard, who makes things 1-0 in Knoxville. Complete the sweep on the season over Lexington, getting 6 points from their 2 games against their rivals. Next up for Knoxville, it's a road trip to Union Omaha. For Lexington, it's a quick turnaround. On Wednesday, they're back here at home against Central Valley Fuego, trying to get that playoff push with a jump start. It's been a pleasure to share this one with you. For our entire production crew, I'm Jack Edwards, saying so long from the new Lexington SC Stadium in the final from the 7th edition of the Barrel Brawl. Lexington SC 0, 1 Knoxville 1.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.